This is my dad's favorite car, Aston Martin DBS. But this car is a water-soaked car, so its price is very beautiful. And after soaking in water, he never started it again. But Matt didn't know how deep he was in the car repair industry, suspected of buying a flooded car. Very high risk. The cost of repair is huge, but this is my dad's dream car. Now Matt is ready to restore this dream car. Then I gave it to my dad. This Aston Martin, the DBX, has been sitting around for too long, and it's a real Aston Martin DBX fished out of muddy water. I don't know if you still remember now. Matt and Dad, when I went to see a water-soaked Rolls-Royce Cullinan, there is an Aston Martin DBX parked next to it. And the moment my father saw him, I totally fell in love with him. On the way home, Lao Ding has been saying one thing. He really likes this car. He just wants this car. Aston Martin DBS. It is equipped with a 4.0-liter twin-turbo low-A engine. Motivation is beyond words. The starting bid for the car was $5,000. Matt made his bid on the spot, but the goal at that time was not this compact. Although the SUV auction site is at the CO party, at that time, the staff also specially installed a jumper power supply. Tried to start the vehicle. The electrical system responds almost across the board. Even the instrument lights can be turned on. The car shows only 2,000 miles. If this is true, the owner of the car must not have driven it into the water on his own initiative. But it's a pity they didn't start the car properly. Although it may be just a small problem, but it may have been completely scrapped. But the only thing that is certain is, Daddy found his dream car. So this car, Matt chose to bought it, but from the details. Before Matt bought this car, someone has tampered with it. Many parts in the engine compartment have been moved. The most obvious is that the air intake is completely open. This way, the flood water will go directly into the turbocharger. Just below the turbine is the engine. But these zeros, the position of the item is actually very high. If the flood can reach this location, this indicates that the weighting depth of the entire vehicle is extremely high. Matt recalls a video he saw online. Many people feel the faster you dash in the water, the more fun it is. But the opposite is true. Models with turbochargers. Once flood water enters the air intake system, the worst result is flooding into the cylinder block. Engine pistons come into contact with flood water during compression. The result is a connecting rod breakage, crankshaft bending, cylinder damage. This means the engine is scrapped. If only a small amount of water, or just a little water logging, then just remove the spark plug. Rotating engine piston. It will push the water out of the spark plug hole. It is not necessary to rebuild the whole machine. Now, Matt has an indescribable feeling. But this time, he had to finish this Aston Martin DBX, fulfilling Dad's dream. Matt only hopes this choice for my dad's dream is worth it. And Matt specifically designed this DBX. Apply for a custom yellow license plate. The number is March 3rd. It represents Matt Armstrong's 23rd car. You may not notice this detail, but this is Matt's surprise for Dad. As night falls, the next morning came. Matt took his dad to watch it early in the morning. My new water-soaked car. The car was parked in the workshop and was covered tightly with car covers. At that time, Matt asked his father, "Guess what car this is?" Dad was still puzzled. This is a new car. Or for me, our dad is still talking nonsense. He doesn't want it if it's not a Ferrari or Aston Martin's DBS. Dad smiled and took off the car cover. My brother expressed surprise. This is not the horse show we watched together. Aston Martin DBX. Dad is very excited. Right now, Matt recalled the time when he was just starting out. Matt was still repairing his car in the restaurant parking lot at the time. Just a humble little Karami. Without their support, I wouldn't have achieved what I have now. This may all be just fantasy. It won't happen at all. Matt said that when his father saw him. Mike said, if I could own a DBS, it must be this car. Matt, at that time, I kept this sentence deep in my heart. And today, Matt finally waited for the right time. Give Dad a surprise. The moment my dad got in the car, he was really excited. I was so excited that I couldn't say anything to express my feelings. Although this car is the dream DBS, but not on the road yet, until Matt fully understands his situation. Behind the water-filled car, there are more unknown risks. But this time, Matt is willing to take this risk for his family. This is his main. This is my colony's main. This is so hard. Come on. Oh, my God. This is the night, no miles. Wow! Any better? We finally got Madame his dream come. Some kind of weirdo. I need it, pussy man. It's oh nice of that. But he's not gonna be able to drive it until we work out what exactly is wrong with it. Dad opened the door and got in the car. Dad's first words were that he was very happy. Really happy. Unspeakable excitement. But when Matt opened the trunk, everything started to become beyond my imagination. There are engine parts inside, spark plugs and ignition coil packs. Seeing this is difficult. Apparently someone had moved this car before. Maybe even tried to salvage the engine, but without success. But Matt judged. Maybe someone tried to remove the spark plug, let the engine drain the flood water. But halfway through, the car was sold on the second-hand market. Now it's the turn of the great Abyss Lord Matt to take over. Damage to the DBX. The engine must be disassembled. First, remove the strut bracket and engine cover. At a glance, the multi-resistant stacked ignition coil has been broken or displaced. The steel coil package is barely fixed. He carefully dismantled. Insert endoscope to inspect cylinder. As soon as the screen comes out, silence! The cylinder is full of rust and mud. Almost every cylinder. The drilled surface is rusted. This means the piston will scratch the entire cylinder wall during the compression stroke. The engine oil will also leak. See here. Matt determined that the engine was dead. The most sensible choice at this moment is remove the entire engine directly. Complete reconstruction. Matt also needs to check the transmission fluid, because if water is mixed into the engine oil, it is very likely that it has entered the gearbox system. Matt's next step is to test the contamination level. Look at this Aston Martin DBX. Is there any need for rescue? But there is some good news for Matt. The oil in the gearbox is very clean. Transparency is also good. Almost no trace of water. This indicates that the damaged part most likely only focused on the engine. So Matt decided to start disassembling. The first step is the exhaust system. Matt has removed the left exhaust pipe. The right side is cut by Dad. The entire exhaust front section was removed smoothly. Next is the propeller shaft. It connects the transmission and rear differential. The disassembly process is not complicated. For fixing bolts, lock the prop shaft to the transmission. Matt is responsible for keeping the wheel steady at the rear. His dad loosened all the bolts at the front end. Disconnect the drive shaft as a whole. The next step is the steering system. Steering column connected to subframe. His father first loosened the fixing bolts on the steering column, so the whole bogie. It can be removed together with the subframe. Then the tires on both sides of the wheel are removed. To facilitate the following operations, my brother started by removing the arch lining. Next, remove the front bumper. To clear, see all pipe connections in the radiator area. Brake system here. Matt did not remove the caliper directly. Instead, the brake caliper is suspended from the frame. Prevent brake fluid loss or air from entering the system. After removing the front bumper, all hoses are exposed. The next thing to focus on is cooling from engine to front radiator. Water pipe. There are cooler circuit hoses, and these must be disconnected because the radiator will remain on the body. Only the engine will be removed. Chassis. There are also several wires fixed to the frame. These circuits will sync along with the engine and subframe. There is also a complete set of suspension structures. Includes underhob control pen. The engine will also detach. Matt is about to disconnect the last few cooling wires. System hose. Just a few steps left. This bubble engine can be completely dismantled. In front of an engine, there are still a few things that need to be done. First, the air conditioning system. Matt first drains the air conditioning refrigerant. Ensure that the condenser pipe, no toxic gas released. The coolant and oil have been drained. Next is the fuel system. The fuel line runs from the rear tank to the engine. Once disconnected, this debug can be completely detached from the bottom of the car. Next, Matt entered the critical stage. This time the demolition target. It is a complete subframe plus engine plus gearbox. Integrated call out. He and Dad first loosened all the subframe bolts. Place a dedicated bracket under the vehicle. Support the entire power system. If everything goes well, the engine sound will stay in place, but there may still be some hoses that have not been disconnected. As the car body rises, Matt confirmed that the steering column was stuck. As a result, the steering column drags the intake pipe, causes some plastic structures to break, although the damage is serious. But the good news is, the 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 finally leaves the chassis. Get off smoothly. Now Matt has to remove the transmission. To handle this engine alone, remove the connecting bolts to separate the gearbox and engine. At this time, the flywheel and torque converter are in good condition. Next is the core part. Assessing internal damage caused by clean water. First, remove the turbochargers on both sides. Then the intercooler pipe. Dismantle to this extent. Finally, I can start to open the cylinder head. But before that, he hasn't tried to manually rotate the engine yet. This confirms the previous judgment. The cylinder is severely corroded. Possibility to bend the curtain rod. Next, Matt removed the camshaft. To access the cylinder head bolts, remove through the top cover. Check whether there is mechanical damage on the piston and cylinder wall. Matt has successfully put the DBX in water. Complete dismantling of the powertrain. Gearbox in good condition, but the engine completely locked up. Initial suspicion is that the connecting rod or piston is stuck. Next, he will completely dismantle the engine. Check whether it is worth rebuilding, or the whole machine must be replaced. This is a critical stage in the beginning of restoring your dream. Matt and Daddy too. The real beginning of reality. The next episode will analyze it in full. The true injury of DBX's blister engine. Oh ho 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 ho! And rusted its 8 away at the Senator. Hello. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video, where we've gotta build this. Angelo, peace out.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người. Mọi người có thấy cái video này hay và thú vị không ạ? Đó, anh chàng mát này anh ấy đã đã mua cho bố đẻ của anh ấy một chiếc xe Aston Martin DBX. Vì cái lý do là cái trong video trước là anh ấy cũng có đi mua một cái chiếc xe hình như là chiếc xe Lamborghini, xong rồi và bố anh ấy đã thấy cái chiếc Aston Martin DBX này nó nằm bên cạnh, và ông ấy rất thích cái chiếc xe này. Và trên cái đoạn đường về thì ông ấy đã nhắc đến rất nhiều cái chiếc xe Aston Martin DBX này. Thì anh ấy đã biết là bố ông rất thích cái chiếc xe này rồi, thì anh ấy đã đặt mua cái chiếc xe này về để sửa chữa lại và phục hồi lại hoàn toàn để tặng cho bố của anh đấy. Thì khi mà bố của anh ấy nhận được cái chiếc xe này rất là ngạc nhiên. Mọi người thấy video này hay và hấp dẫn thì hãy cho mình một nút like, muốn đăng ký kênh để mình có động lực để mình tạo thêm những cái video tiếp theo. Chào mọi người, hẹn mọi người video tiếp theo ạ.